You want to know what's historically inaccurate about this movie? Because like the real story is actually way more interesting than the shit that they made.
Okay, well, first, let's set it up. So the first movie, already they took a lot of liberties. Perfect example is...
well, they created a fictional character.
Maximus isn't real.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius, the guy he fought under, the old man in the beginning, he's real.
Yeah.
He wrote a book, meditation, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Was his son real? The son that's the villain.
Commodus is real. Yeah.
Does the
Commodus,
sister, is the sister real?
I think the sister
real. Has the hots for Maximus.
I don't know. Maybe not. But I think she's a real figure.
Because her son's important. That's why I brought her up.
Right. No, that's all bullshit.
All bullshit.
The kid's fake.
Kid's fake.
Or the kid's real, but I mean...
Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
he's not important.
Not important. Didn't do shit.
Okay, so...
Never did shit.
Okay, now Gladiator 2. So what the difference between Gladiator 2 and real life?
Like the real... Like everything.
Okay.
Like... I don't mean... Here's... All right.
So the whole movie is just...
Everything is on like a... It's its own bullshit... It's its own bullshit fantasy world.
Okay.
All right.
For one, okay, we'll start at the top. The twin emperors.
So let's start with the end of Gladiator 1 real quick. So we have Commodus. So there was a guy named Commodus. He was an emperor.
Okay.
He was crazy. He was lavish, and he did like think of how to like ruin the empire. Like he like consciously ruined the empire. You know what I mean? And he did fight people in the Colosseum.
Okay.
He did fuck them up beforehand, so he would like have an advantage. Okay. That's all real shit. Which is pretty crazy. That the son, he was like the Logan Paul. He was like the Jake Paul of the day. Okay. He was like fighting old ass dudes in the Coliseum. He was fighting old champions. That's a real character. Okay. So what happens is Commodus gets murdered by his Praetorian guards. Okay. These are like his elite bodyguards. He's got like a small force of dudes that are that's their job, is to just protect him.
So the son who openly wanted to destroy Rome gets killed by his guards.
Yeah. After like 8 years. And the thing is, Commodus was a decent dude. He was actually a good ruler for the first couple years, and then he became
the son who wanted to
the son of Marcus Aurelius
that wanted to destroy Rome.
Yeah, the guy that killed Russell Crowe. In real life, he was actually good for a couple years, and then he became shitty.
He just became shitty. Okay.
He became really shitty.
Good beginning, shitty end.
Yeah. So he was killed by one of his dudes, and then they elected this dude named Pertinax to become the next emperor. He was a Praetorian guard. So he was one of the bodyguards, and then he became a fucking emperor. I mean, the Praetorian guard controls who's the emperor. That's another thing about ancient Rome. It's
the Praetorian guard is pretty much like the army.
It's like their secret service.
Oh, like their CIA.
Yeah, CIA secret service. Same kind of shit. Yeah.
CIA.
So
Rome.
Starting with Pertinax, you have what you call the Year of the Five Emperors. All right, so you have...
This I know.
Yeah, so you have the Year of the Five Emperors. Each one of them are killed. One of them is he wins an auction. At one point, the Praetorian guards they put it for sale, the position of emperor. They say, if you give us money, you pay us, we'll let you be the emperor.
Right.
And this guy did it, and then he was he was killed as soon as he gave the money away. He was just murdered. That's
honestly fucking hilarious. It's like, hey, you want to be president? Yeah. And then they just stab him.
You had some generals. So like what the fashion would be like if you were a powerful general, if you had an army, then you could like control real shit. So anyone that had an army, any general would like, oh, I'll fucking be emperor. And then maybe if someone wanted to contest him, they would fight, and whoever would win would become the emperor.
Okay,
right?
So whoever controls the most powerful army rules.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how it was for at least a year.
Okay.
Okay, and then one of the generals was a dude named Septimius Severus, and he was
Severus Snape?
and he was possibly a black dude. He was born in Africa. He was born in North Africa. Septimius Severus. Okay.
Severus Snape, dude.
So he ruled for about 18 years, and his kids were Geta and Caracalla. Okay, and those are the two emperors you see in the sequel.
The twin emperors.
Yeah.
Geta and what?
Caracalla.
Caracalla.
He's like Caligula, basically. But we'll get to him in a second. So Septimius Severus, North African dude. Okay. Kind of right up your alley. I'm trying to sell you on this guy. You're going to love him. He's black. Hey, he's black, dude. I don't know if he's Denzel Black. I don't know if he's Denzel Washington Black, but he was an.
So actually, Denzel's character was the father of the twin emperors in a weird way.
No. You'll see.
In a weird way.
We'll get to Denzel's character in a weird
way.
So Septimius Severus was a general by definition he was like a warrior guy. He was a general. He was a fucking war fighter.
Okay.
He was a G. He was a beast, and he did a pretty good job. He was kind of corrupt. He had a guy working with him that was super corrupt. This guy was named Plautianus. He was like one of Septimius Severus's oldest friends. Okay. And he let him be like second command of the empire. Okay. So what happened was, as Caracalla and Geta got older, this dude, Plautianus, was kind of like threatening their birthright to become emperor. The two brothers. Let's talk about Caracalla and Geta for a second. So these guys, okay, they were just like Commodus. They were just like Joaquin Phoenix. They were like they were those two guys, but in real life they hated each other. They never hung out with each other. They fucking hated each other more than anything.
Okay, to be clear, in the movie, the twin emperors, there was one that was kind of not smart, but he was definitely the smartest of the two.
Right.
He kind of had a head on his shoulders. Right. The other one was just fucking retarded because he literally had syphilis. It was eating his brain.
So that's Caracalla is the retarded one. Okay. And Geta is the one that dies first. So anyway, they have
But they actually hate each other in real life.
So they have Plautianus. So Plautianus is Septimius Severus' best friend. And Septimius Severus marries Plautianus' daughter to Caracalla. Okay. And then everything's found out about how, it's kind of like, Plautianus is also in the way of him becoming emperor, he thinks, right? Because his father listens to Plautianus more than him.
Yeah.
Right? And whatever. So he's dating this guy's daughter. He's dating Plautianus's, or he's married to Plautianus's daughter. He beats her like all the time because she's like, because that's his daughter. He takes it out on her.
Yeah, it takes it out on her.
Side thing.
And he's Italian.
But I mentioned that out there for the ladies listening, all right? I know you guys, I'm keeping you guys.
But he is also Italian. That's like the culture.
He's also Italian.
So.
All right, anyways.
They do love beating women.
Okay, so.
And meatballs.
What they do is, what Caracalla does is he forges a document that he says is from Plautianus, asking some guards to fucking murder the emperor at a banquet. And it's like a big dumbass banquet. It's a big party. And like these 10 guys step forward and then declare that Plautianus asked them to murder the emperor. It was all a big setup, right? And it was crazy that the emperor believed it, because that's how ridiculous it was. You know what I mean? But anyways, Plautianus was executed, and now there was nothing in the way between Caracalla and Geta becoming emperors. All right, so they hated each other. Septimius Severus thought that if they got to co-rule the empire, that would bring them together, and they would be good co-rulers of the Roman Empire. All right. After Plautianus dies, there's a revolt in Britain, in ancient Great Britain, in Scotland in the north. All right, the Caledonians are revolting.
So it's not Britain, it's Scotland.
It's Scotland, I guess. It's the Highlands.
So Highlander?
Yeah, yeah, Highlander.
Yeah.
Bagpipe dude.
Fuck yeah. Let's talk about
So listen, Septimius Severus was afraid that his sons were like kind of pussies. Remember Septimus S. I'm just calling him Septimus.
No, Severus Snape.
Yes. All right. So Severus Snape, dude, he was a fucking. He was a G. He was a general. He was a fucking fierce warrior. But he was like in his 60s now. He's afraid of his sons being pussies. All right. He's afraid they're gonna grow up and become Kamala Harris voters. As you do. They're gonna grow up and take the kind of guy to take a woman's last name. He was afraid of this. All right. So he took them on a campaign to northern Britain, to fight the Caledonians. All right, and he thought it would be like a really quick, easy war. He thought it'd be like there and back in like a year or two, right? And what ended up happening was the Caledonians would never fight them face to face. They would all do like guerrilla bullshit. Okay, so after like 2 years, they had lost 50,000 dudes. The Romans had already lost like 50,000 dudes, and they weren't forced. The Caledonians were never coming out to fight in like a pitched battle. So Septimius Severus ordered. Remember, he's an African guy, and then he ordered a genocide of all the dudes, of all the Caledonians. He said, all right, we're just going to go on a killing spree. And then they went and killed all the Caledonians they could, like women, children. They would just go town to town and just murder everybody.
Okay, so well, hold on.
Trying to draw the Caledonians out to
So basically,
to
so Severus Snape brought his twin sons because he's scared they're going to be gay, become Harris voters.
Right.
And he's fighting Scottish people, but the Scottish warriors won't fight them head on.
Right.
They're doing Vietnamese guerrilla warfare tactics.
Sneaky.
And the fucking Black Severus Snape is like, this is bullshit, and just starts killing women and children to bring the soldiers out.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. And they're planning their next campaign. It's a genocide. They're wiping out these people.
Okay.
And
as you do.
That's the order. We're wiping out Caledonians. That's he woke up one day. He's like, you know what? No more Caledonians. We're wiping them out.
So he's also part Israeli. Got it.
And he says nothing because he dies. He dies while he's planning the next like wave of genocide, and then he dies. Okay. And so when he dies, what does he die from? He dies from, I think he's sick and he died. He got ill and he just died. You know, he's 65, out in the field. He died with his boots on, right? Like a real fucking G. Anyway, so his kids are proclaimed emperor simultaneously, Geta and Caracalla.
Right. Twin emperors.
All right. From the moment they're both hailed as emperors, they don't spend any time with each other, right? They're immediately paranoid that they're trying to kill one another.
Okay.
The one's trying to kill the other. All right. And it proceeds this way all the way. They go back to Rome. All right. The whole way back, they didn't share a fucking wagon. They didn't fucking share a tent. Eating. They didn't eat in the same tents. They didn't fucking... And everywhere they went, they never met in private. They always had guards. Always heavily guarded.
The complete opposite of the movie.
They get back to Rome. They split the fucking palace into two. And they're just, each side is just guards. And everywhere they go, they're just, they're being guarded by dudes. And their whole time, they don't govern shit. They don't do anything. And, shit's starting to fucking pile up. And it's starting to become a shit show. And it's clear that the way that they're governing isn't efficient. So one day, the mom, Septimius Severus' wife, Julius Domina, she calls a meeting between Geta and Caracalla. Says, come to private meeting, just us three. No one else. Okay. We're going to hash this out. You guys are going to rule the empire. Okay, we're going to do this. There was talks they could have split the empire in two, but they were afraid that would make everything a shit show in a civil war. But anyway, so they're in this meeting. There's just three of them in the meeting, and they're like talking for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden a bunch of armed dudes bust through the door and then just start stabbing fucking Geta and kill him right in front of his mother. And then it's clear that Caracalla is the one that ordered these are his men. So Caracalla killed his brother Geta in front of their own mother.
Damn.
Okay, which is nuts. And then the thing about Geta was the older brother, so he was always going to be a little more powerful. He was more liked by the troops. The troops liked him more. The armies liked him better. So Caracalla went to the army, and I guess he was cooler with them. He spent more time with them. He gambled with them.
Bro.
It's more of a bro. But Caracalla went to the army, went to the Praetorian Guards, and said, someone tried to attack me and my brother. They killed him, but I survived. I managed to escape. Like, will you swear an oath to continue protecting me, the son of your former master, Septimius, right? Whatever.
Severus Snape. Yeah.
Right, Severus Snape, dad. Black Snape. So they agreed. Okay, so Caracalla is the emperor. And he was a psychopath. Caracalla, after he killed his brother, he went out and then he tried to erase his brother from history. He take him off all the coins, the statues, the paintings, mosaics, the fucking sculptures, right?
I do know one fun fact. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Almost all the statues, political statues especially, in Rome, the heads come off.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how many times they would trade political figures. They would just take the head off, keep the body the same, just put the new head on.
Interesting.
There you go. Boom.
Damn.
That's why a lot of these guys, we have their busts, we have their head,
yeah,
but we don't have a lot of statues of them, but it's because they just reuse the same statues.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, there you go, baby.
So Caracalla, you know what he did?
What?
After this, so he tried to erase his brother from history, right? And then he went and killed all of Geta's friends, and then all of Geta's like friends and associates and their friends and their family.
So he just did Italian mob shit. He was ahead of the game.
So he just went out and basically murdered everyone that even knew his brother or knew someone that knew his brother was murdered.
Some gabagool shit.
Thousands and thousands of people died in Rome. Okay.
Gabagool.
And then he toured the empire. Okay. He went to Germany. He fought like a couple like really small little fights, like little battles, and then he started calling himself Germanicus, right? Like so when you conquer a place, right, you get a new name.
Nice.
Based off of where you conquered, like Scipio Africanus.
Call me Celebanus. I conquered 7-Eleven last night. Daniel Holmes.
Fucking dude's assholiest last conquered.
Daniel Asses Holmes.
So he would when he traveled, he would go to a place and he would demand that they build something in his honor, like a big building or like a statue or a theater or some shit, some grand thing.
Of course.
And then he would come by later and either just roll past it and not give a fuck, or he would say that it's not good enough and for them to tear it down and do it again.
Nice.
Right? So just wasting money, right? A lot of money. And then whenever he'd stop, he would go out and he would suck up all the fucking drink and food in the area. He would just demand that it's all rerouted to him. And then he would throw these big ass parties and would not invite anybody at all. So he would just hang out by himself, surrounded by food, right? And he'd do shit like he would be like 2 days away from the ocean, and then he would demand oysters and seafood, or else.
But this is back then. Back then. Like, shit was not easy to bring.
It was expensive and it was tedious, right?
Yeah.
But he would show up to a place that's like 2 days away from the ocean and be like, I want some fucking mussels.
Like the most
oysters.
The most advanced transportation back then was a
so,
guy in a wagon.
Yeah.
a fucking horse and wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so back when I said, remember when I said that when you conquer something in ancient Rome, you get a new name.
Yes.
Right? So when he fought the Germans, he was named Germanicus, right?
Oh,
but he didn't really, whatever, right? So someone made a joke. One of the generals made a joke about. They said, oh, they should name him Geticus because he murdered, because he conquered his brother. They call him Geticus, right? It was like an open secret that he killed his brother. Everyone kind of knew, but no one said anything. And that guy was murdered immediately. That guy was immediately murdered.
Call him that guy Murticus.
That guy was Murticus. He was murdered.
Call him Snitches.
I
killed my snitches.
My favorite thing Caracalla did, the most fucked up thing he did, was he went to Alexandria. And when he was in Alexandria, there was performers there. They put on a comedy show, a play. It was a satirical comedy about the killing of his brother Geta, right? And they made a joke about him killing his brother. And he went as soon as this joke happened, he went like insane with anger and madness. And then he killed like 20,000 people. He just went out and he ordered the soldiers to just start killing everybody.
Nice.
And he killed pretty much 20,000 people. So one thing about Caracalla, one thing he did right was that he paid his soldiers a lot of money. That's why he treated everyone like complete shit except his soldiers. He paid them out. He raised their pay, like I think maybe 4 times more than what it originally was. And then he would give them like gifts and bonuses on a regular basis. He would just surprise them every chance he got. He would just give them fucking gifts. So the soldiers didn't even give a fuck if he was bad or
a piece of shit,
because he was just he's
just dishing out money.
Yeah, so they're not gonna fucking say shit. Anyway, so during this time, there's a fortune teller in Africa. Okay, probably a crazy old black lady. All right, staring in no crystal ball or whatever. But she's a soothsayer, an oracle, whatever. She's like one of these people, and she starts saying that an equate named Marcus Aurelius Macrinus is going to become the next emperor. This is what she says, like verbatim. She says this, and she starts telling, and she starts.
What the fuck is an equate?
An equate is like a status of citizen. A citizen, an equate is anyone that owns a horse.
Okay, thank you.
An equate.
You fucking nerd.
So anyone in ancient Rome that owns a horse is called an equate. I'm going full fucking Rain Man
This shit. You just said that shit like, oh yeah,
an equate.
No.
Someone from the equine class.
No.
Yeah. Anyone that was rich enough to have a horse and join a cavalry was an equate. It was a pretty low position though. It wasn't like you weren't a landowner. You couldn't be in Senate because you didn't own land. Oh. Right. So it was a pretty lowly position still. All right. So I mean, she's like naming this person. All right. No one knows who the fuck this person even is, but this name, this rumor of someone coming to overthrow the government or coming to fucking become the next emperor gets out. It makes its way to Rome. It's a very popular rumor. Everyone knows that's living in the provinces, right? And the people in Rome hear it, and then they send people to investigate. All right. So at this time, So at the time when this message was being sent, right, Caracalla wasn't in Rome. Caracalla was actually out in Parthia. He was in Persia. And he had got, the last shitty thing he did, one of the last shitty things he did.
Tell me.
Was he was invited to marry the daughter of the Parthian Empire, a Persian princess, basically. Okay. And so he travels out to this wedding to get married to this Persian princess. And then when he gets there, the two wedding parties meet each other, and then he just orders to them all to get just murdered. He just like kill them all.
Why?
I don't know, because he's crazy. He just killed all of them.
Was she ugly? He's like, man, that bitch ugly, man. Kill all these motherfuckers.
No, fuck, kill all these motherfuckers. He's like, you fucking joking?
Hey, yo, you
maybe it was right maybe. Now? Who knows? But he ordered the slaughter of everyone at the wedding.
Damn.
Basically, the king and the queen were there, obviously, because it's their daughter, right? But they survived somehow. They got away.
Somehow.
So he's off in Parthia doing this.
Okay. Right?
So people in Rome hear this rumor, and then they send people to fucking North Africa to investigate, and they meet this lady saying all this shit about, this Marcus guy, Equate, becoming an emperor. Like, who is this guy? And she like she holds to her guns, and she's like, this is the prophecy. Like, this is what it is. So they write a letter. The people in Rome write a letter, kind of informing the emperor, hey, by the way, there's a rumor. Here's what's going on in Rome.
This is like the equivalent of ChatGPT just saying some wild shit, and everyone's like, "Hey, yo, prophecy!
Yeah.
Donald Trump will become the next president."
So this message arrives in Parthia, right? They give it to Caracalla. Caracalla's a fucking, he doesn't go through mail. He doesn't do that shit. He gives it to his Praetorian prefect. He gives it to his second in command, basically, who's a Praetorian prefect named Marcus Aurelius Macrinus.
No, you made that up.
Yeah.
No, you made up that name.
So the dude's going through the mail, right? He's going through all the messages, and then he sees a message and he reads it, and it's like, holy shit, and it's about a fortune teller naming him the next emperor, whatever, right? This is a message intended for Caracalla, but he intercepts it because he's going through it first.
Yeah.
Right. So he this, even like, is this a joke? Like, what is this? Right. He doesn't know what it is.
No. The fortune teller said the equate.
Yeah, he was the equate.
Oh, he's an equate.
He was an equate.
He's our equate man.
He was our equate, and his name is Macrinus. Yeah, he was the guy named. He's the guy named in the letter.
Wow.
He's the guy named in the letter.
That's pretty mind blowing. Even though you made up that name.
Even though it's made up. Even though black people still use that name today. There's going to be a rise in the name Macrinus.
Equate still exists to this day.
If you
but
want
instead of horses and scooters.
Yeah.
They don't own any land.
So here's Macrinus was born in Algeria. Macrinus is also the name of the black dude that plays Denzel Washington's character. Is that black dude. They took that dude's name.
I see.
Yeah, they took his name.
Wow.
Yeah. But
it all
he wasn't a gladiator thing. Yeah.
It all but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is a way this just that right there is way more interesting than that whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Just the equate African crazy lady going like the equate, and then like he sees the letter. He sees the letter. He's like,
fuck.
oh shit, that's me. Yeah, son, like that.
Yeah.
And also the crazy emperor twin going to kill the Persian kingdom because their daughter's ugly. Like all that is way more interesting,
way cooler
than literally all of Gladiator 2.
And here, okay, so listen, if you want to,
nah, I don't want to hear
it.
Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just joking.
Listen, you got a fucking choice. I'm gonna put you in the Coliseum. You're in the Coliseum right now. You gotta fight.
That's my new favorite word. He
quit. That was the great. He quit.
Go get the water.
Go get that water.
No, where you get?
You need that he quit. That crazy white boy. He quit.
There is a prophecy.
The crazy white boy.
He will stop at the gate.
He will stop the gate. He'll put it into the gate.
Anyway, all right, finish your fucking story.
So listen, this dude, so the crazy emperor, so think about this, all right? There's a message saying that some guy is coming to take your place.
Right.
All right. And they have your name.
Right.
All right. And it's going to a crazy emperor who is known for just killing people
randomly.
So you're scared. If you're Macrinus, if you're Marcus Aurelius Macrinus, if you're the Equate, you're scared.
Marcus Aurelius Septimius,
you're scared. All right. So Marcus, I mean, Caracalla might have already known at this point because it was kind of spreading around, right? So it's like the next day Macrinus puts a plot together to fucking kill. It's either kill or be killed.
He's like, I have to do this because he'll kill me anyway.
He didn't think he was gonna be emperor. He didn't give a shit. He's like, I just don't want to.
He just doesn't want to die. Yeah, I get you.
So he finds a pissed off soldier that was like passed up for a promotion, probably or something like that. To kill and stab fucking the emperor and kill Caracalla. So they're somewhere in Persia. They're somewhere in Parthia. They're coming back. They stop to take a piss. Caracalla gets out to piss or something like that, and then the dude Macrinus gives him like a little like a head nod, and the dude walks out with a knife and fucking stabs.
Man,
Emperor
killing emperors were just so easy back then.
Yeah,
all you need is a knife and like one moment.
That's it.
That's it.
It's crazy.
Cause he has to take a piss at some point.
He's got to piss. He's got to turn his back and just take a piss.
Like he literally has to shit at some point.
So he was killed. The guy that killed him was also murdered, and I think he knew that, and he was willing to just kill him to die. He didn't give a shit. Anyways, right. So like what happens is they have all these, the whole army's there. They have all these legions, and then when the emperor dies, it's tradition. You have to elect a new leader.
Sure.
Right. So amongst the population of the legion, they have like a day or two where they're trying to people are throwing themselves up for candidacy, right? They're like, I'll do it, right? But they all get rejected. And then the Praetorians put their guy, Macrinus, the Praetorian prefect, they put him up. They pick him and they put him up. Macrinus, yeah. And remember, he's from Algeria, too. So he's a black dude. So he probably was a black dude. He's an Equate. So he's the emperor now.
Nice.
All right. Now here's the crazy thing. Okay, so he never set foot in Rome. He never even went back to Rome. He was like a field emperor. He didn't even fucking touch Roman soil. All right. So he ruled the empire from abroad.
Why?
Because it's too far away. He never got a chance because he lasted like 10 months.
Damn.
Right? So here's where he fucked up.
Spoiler alert.
So he fucked up. So when Caracalla died, okay, Macrinus made the mistake of not immediately sending a message to like murder everyone in the family. All right, because there were still blood relatives of Caracalla that had like some kind of claim. If they wanted to, they could make a push. Okay, so Septimius Severus, Black Snape's wife. Okay, her sister. Okay, all right, her sister has 2 grandkids that are 14 and 9. All right. Okay. And she's like, well, we're going to kill Macrinus and then we're going to install more fucking people from this family onto the throne. All right. So she's like a powerful woman lady, Julia Messa, right? That was her name. And she was, pulling the puppet strings. And she sent her 14-year-old grandson to go become the fucking emperor of Rome after Macrinus died. All right, and he was named Elagabalus. And you heard about this guy?
No.
So he was a gay guy. He was a 15-year-old kid. He was like trans before they were trans. He was like he would like dress up like a woman. Okay, he became the emperor. All right. Okay. And he would do shit. He would like fuck gladiators and shit. He would like be blowing gladiators. Like that's what they should have made the movie about. Like a gay dude just blowing gladiators. What? He was because in ancient Rome, it wasn't gay. If you fucked another dude in the ass, like that wasn't gay because you're the one fucking. Right? Those are ancient Rome rules.
That's how it is in Iran.
It's like prison rules. Yeah. Ancient Rome was like prison or like a modern day Iran, right?
Yeah. Modern day Iran, yeah.
Right. The things still exist there. The tradition continues in Iran. It's not gay, right? But he was, and so people had a problem with gay shit, right? Or they had a problem with that side of the gay shit, I guess. You know, you couldn't take it. No one in power should take it. Does that make sense?
I get you.
Right. It was seen as like a lowly thing. You can't. An emperor would never. It was like
you could fuck men all live long day, but you couldn't take it in the ass.
Yeah, I mean it was an outrage. All right, it would be like on the level of like Beetlejuice. You know, the black Beetlejuice dude. Like if he fucked like Taylor Swift. All right, it was like that level of outrage. If you could imagine.
Okay,
right? It was that wild.
An emperor can fuck all the little boys he wants. But none of those little boy dicks can go in his asshole.
Exactly. That's the thing.
His asshole's more sacred than those little boys' assholes.
That's exactly the logic.
Okay.
All right. Elagabalus. And he would ride around town in a chariot with like the champion chariot racer that he made like fuck him basically. There was a champion charioteer guy. You know, a chariot racer.
So this chariot guy's fucking the emperor in the ass.
Yeah, and he's like letting everyone know about it. Because he's also like the chariot racer is like an athlete of the day.
Sure.
He's like their Travis Kelce.
Sure.
Or something, right? He's like, so imagine if you're the president of America and you force Travis Kelce to fuck you in the ass and you're like.
He's their Jake Paul.
And you're going around and yeah, exactly.
He's Jake Paul.
So.
He's like, hey, yo, I'm fucking the emperor in the ass.
Yeah. So, you know what happened to him? They were like, all right, this is enough of this gay shit. And they just killed his ass. And then they stabbed him and the Praetorian Guard murdered him. And then they put his.
The emperor or the chariot racer?
The emperor was murdered.
They just killed him because
they killed him because there was just like enough. It was just too. He's just before his time. Elagabalus was just and if he was around today, he'd be like an average guy. He would be like the average guy.
He would just. But they literally just murdered him because he was just too gay for Rome.
Yes, he was too gay. He had to go, and then they replaced him with his something. Yeah. Well, then they replaced him with his younger brother, who was like less gay, but also not effective as emperor.
Still gay.
Yeah. And also just young. He was like a teenager. Anyways. But yeah, dude. So like that whole thing, this crazy arc in history, like they missed the whole chapter of like the craziest shit where like shit got really gay for a minute.
I don't know about the gay stuff. I don't think that was the most interesting part, honestly, was still the twin emperors.
Totally.
They still could have did what they already did.
Yeah.
They still could have kept the boat scene. All they had to do was show that they actually hated each other. Uh-huh. That would have been cool.
That would have
been better. See less the Coliseum. I keep saying Coliseum. To see less of the gladiator shit.
Yeah.
Right? And just show more like the little empire is being split in half. One brother that way, another brother the other way.
It could have totally.
And then the same mom, they could have just threw her in. Okay, I'm their mom now. Whatever. Just make her the mom. Yeah. And then, like, they have that scene. They already kind of have that scene in the movie where they're having secret meetings.
Yeah.
Just have it with the brothers. But the guy comes, he kills the other brother. He rules. I would love to see the fucking the crazy brother, the crazy brother going to Persia to kill, like, oh, she's ugly, and he just murders a kingdom, and then crazy black African lady, the Ikwe will come, it will stop the gay, and then and then it just spreads through the empire. Like, have you heard the secrets of the Ikwe? Like,
yeah.
And then this guy who's like the emperor's accountant or just a fucking nobody, looks at through the mail. Oh, I gotta look through the mail. He's like, oh shit, that's me. Oh fuck, I gotta kill this motherfucker or he'll kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, it's like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. Like, and then they stab the Emperor while he's taking a piss. All that is way more interesting than Gladiator 2.
I agree. Way better. It's a shame they don't fucking crack them textbooks. It's a shame they didn't crack the fucking history of Rome
it's clear
textbooks.
that they did. They have the twin emperors. They even have a guy trying to betray them.
Yeah.
There's
elements that are like...
But they can only know those elements if they know the story at some point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
They just chose to make a shittier version of the story.
I know.
That I don't get.
I don't get it. I think they wanted to service the first movie. They had to continue on with this timeline and this character and his bloodline. You know what I mean? Maximus's shit.
Yeah, I guess it was literally unnecessary.
It doesn't make.
They could have just told a completely different story.
It also doesn't. Why would they send the boy off? Maximus killed the fucking crazy guy that was threatening the kid. So like there was no point for
none in that story made sense.
No,
she sends the kid away from the first movie.
Right, why?
And this is also another thing. They never explained why she didn't go get him.
Yeah. Like
she never got him.
Like you're a bad mom. Like
she's just a shitty mom.
She's a terrible mother.
The whole premise of the movie is there was once a mom who was shitty, and that was it.
Like, a shitty mom. Don't trust black people.
Like, don't trust black people.
Don't trust women.
If you fuck a lot, you're gonna get syphilis. Which I mean, is true. Mm-hmm. That was one thing I took away. I was like, all right, I don't want syphilis. That's one thing I took away from the movie.
Yeah,
and also being a stepdad sucks ass.
Yeah,
that's what the general was. He was
the general was a stepdad.
He was the only sensible person in the entire fucking story.
I expected more from his character. He was a pretty weak ass character. Actually,
yeah. They literally dropped the ball for that character.
Yeah,
but
and they just put him in the ring, so he had to. That was, I mean, you could see the twists and turns coming. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, don't do that. Don't try to don't do this tongue in cheek. Like, it's like, look, I can predict your storyline a mile away.
Like, do you think any real Gladiator fan wanted to see this sequel and wanted this story?
I could not predict.
Who wanted this story? I didn't want this story.
The real life story with the fucking brothers who hate each other. Fucking the murders, killing the ugly Persian princess. Yeah. Fucking equate, like all that is way more interesting.
You know, what'd been way sicker if they made another movie based off the black friend from Gladiator. Remember?
I thought he was gonna come back.
He was like, "Now you are free," and then he buries the fucking thing. Now you are free, and then the song starts playing. If they picked it up with him again, and he was like somewhere in Africa, being like fucking the king of Africa. I think he was supposed to be the king of Africa in the movie. I think he was originally cast as.
I think he was supposed to be the first
the king guy. He went home and became the king of Africa.
But they just found some other black guy. They're like, oh, they all look the same. He's like, no, he's a completely different character.
Yeah,
and they just killed him off. Oh, that's so. Yeah. Gladiator 2 sucked. It's pretty much
it sucked ass.
What we're trying to say in a roundabout way.